Hey, how's it going, guys? So today I'm going to show you guys how I'm able to scale my Facebook ads. So just like this store over here where I did $104,000 in just 10 days with just Facebook ads alone. There's no Google, there's no TikTok or Snapchat involved. It's strictly just Facebook ads. Even better way to show you guys how I'm able to scale is to show you guys a new store that I recently just started on May 3rd. And this store is basically just a little bit over three weeks old, and I'm able to scale all the way up to 3.4K as of today. I'm planning to take the score even higher, but I'm taking it slowly. Let's go into my ads manager so I can show you how I was able to test and scale this. All right, so here's my ads manager. I spent $1,600 today and I generated 3.4K as you saw before. So this day I was actually really profitable. It's a little bit over 2 ROAS. So whenever I get 2 ROAS on a store, it's actually like a 20 to 25% margin. But let's hop over to the first day that I started the store, which is May 3rd. And let's see, you can see that I have a testing campaign right here using the ad set budget strategy. And like I said in the previous video, whenever I test products on Facebook, I always like to use ad set budgets at first. And this campaign spent $100. Like I said, 10 ad sets, $10 each. So $100 spent on this day. And let's go over to Shopify so I can show you May 3rd. So this is May 3rd over here. Generate $240. So this is actually 2.4 ROAS, and I'll put the profit on the screen right now. If we dive into the ad sets, you can see that here there's 10 ad sets with $10 each. This is how you determine if you could scale a winner or not. You have to find interests that are giving you really good buying intent, just like this one that I have over here. So whenever you see something like this, you want to go ahead and duplicate this and make it into a CBO. So once this thing shows up, you want to choose a new campaign, 3 copies instead of 1, and always check the show existing reactions and just go ahead and type in a name, like preferably like the name of the ad set that got you a sale, and just hit duplicate. But let's go on to May 4th to show you how that scaling CBO did. So over here we have the scaling CBO. It says 400 over here, but the budget started out actually at $100. As you can see over here, it spent $98 and we actually got 8 purchases on that day. So total for this day we spent $197, and on Shopify we generated $420 in return in revenue. So since this day did really good on the first day of the CBO, whenever I see this happen, I like to increase the budget, and I think that's exactly what I did for the next day, which is May 5th. So it's gone to May 5th, and you can see that instead of the budget being 100, it's actually spending 200 on this day. So what I did was simply just went into the CBO right here, click on edit, and I doubled the budget. And I spent $300 on ads this day, and let's see Shopify. So we can see that I generated $928. So this day was extremely profitable, over 3 ROAS. I kind of took the store a lot slower than all my other stores. So I was letting the CBO optimize, so letting it run a couple more days at the same amount of budget. And that's exactly what it did for the next day, May 6th. So as you can see, there's 300 spent on May 5th, and on May 6th is also 300 spent. But if you look at my Shopify dashboard, you can see that May 6th, I only generated $420, which is a huge decline from $900. And this is normal because like you're not even at that high of a budget yet, and the customers that Facebook are sending to your website, they're not all going to convert. At the end of the day, they're all human, and you can't really force someone to buy your product. So that's why whenever someone in the Prime Discord asks me like why like I have a sale decline on this day and the previous day did really well, I usually always tell them that you're at a really low ad spend and Facebook is not going to give you really consistent results just yet. But if you have a super winner, it will, but most of the time it won't until you get up to a really high ad spend, which is like around 2 to 3K per day. So let's go on to the next day, which is May 7th, so I can show you what happened. So on May 7th, I decided to scale this CBO even more, even though the previous day did really bad. So I increased the budget from $200 to $250. I usually go from 200 to 300, but since that day did really bad, I just added another $50, but overspent a little bit. As you can see, I spent $280 instead, and this day I spent $387 on my ads manager, and you can see that I generated 1.2K and wait, this is both days. Okay, so I generated 800 back. This is just a little bit above 2 ROAS, which is still good. So the reason behind adding just $50 to the CBO, even though the previous day did bad, so this usually works most of the time when your CBO is doing really amazing on one day and then the next day all of a sudden it just drops off. You kind of want to add a little bit more spend to it, so you're kind of like reigniting the fire, if that makes sense. So let's go ahead and go to May 8th. And on this day, I decided to create a brand new CBO, and this CBO is basically the same thing. There's an interest inside of it that was a winning interest from my testing campaign, And on this day, my total ad spend was $594, and on this day I generated only $600 in return. So this is just a little bit above like 1.1 ROAS, somewhere around there. I think I lost probably like $100 on this day or so. But on this day, I wasn't really too worried because the previous day was 2 ROAS and this day was just 1 ROAS. It could just be a bad day. But this day was also a Monday, and Mondays are usually always bad for my stores. Sometimes it does well, but most of the time, like, it falls off. It either breaks even or just profits a little bit. But that's exactly what happened on this day. So I saw that it was a Monday and the previous day did really well. So I decided to just leave the budget the same. So as you can see on May 9th, I spent the same exact just around $600. So you can see that the cost of purchase went all the way down to just an average of $19, and Facebook tracked 30 purchases. So let's see what happened on Shopify's end, which is a lot more accurate. So as you can see, this is our first day crossing $1,000, and this only took around 6 days or a week or so, and we're already at 1.2K. Like I said, this is one of my slower moving stores, and I do have stores where I literally scale up from 0 to 10K in just like 10 days. And that's actually in one of my case studies that's out in Prime. If you guys are interested in seeing what the product is, what the ad strategy is behind that, make sure you join the Discord below. But let's continue on to the next day so I can show you exactly what happened. So on May 10th, here we go. So I spent a total of $734, and the main reason behind this increase in ad spend is because I doubled the budget of the CBO that did really well the previous day, which is this new interest that I had targeted. So instead of $200, I made the spend $400 at midnight, and I spent a total of $734, and this day it got me around $1.4 thousand back. So this was still around a 2 ROAS day. It's closer to 1.9, but it's still at the very end really profitable. So that's all I pretty much did on that day. Let's go to the 11th and I'll show you what happened. So I literally just left the ad spend the same and I let it optimize just a little bit. So you can see that I spent the same amount, $700. And on this day, I think it was a pretty good day. Yeah, it gave me 1.7K instead of 1.4. Actually, this is pretty close to 1.8. So let's just say 1.8 on just a $700 ad spend. So that's around like a 2.4, 2.5 ROAS. And I believe on May 12th, I left the ad spend the same again. This was mainly because I was traveling, and on May 12th I had to get on a flight, and it was like an overnight flight, so I couldn't really work on my ads. So $700 to spend again, and I think this day did pretty well on a Friday. Yeah, it did. So it gave me a return of 2.1. So this was actually really close to like 3 ROAS. It was probably like around 2.8, 2.9. So for the next couple of days from May 13th to May 17th, I was actually on vacation, like I said, and I wasn't really working on my stores as much, and I literally just left the ad spends the same. I think I did increase on the 13th to $900 right here, as you can see. And on May 13th, you can see that it generated a 1.6K in return, close to 1.7, so still like around 1.8, 1.9 ROAS. And for the next couple of days, it was stuck at 900 because, like I said, I was on vacation. And let's see, on May 14th, it kind of broke even this day, like with a 1.5 ROAS. And then the next day, it generated 1.9, which is like a little bit above 2 ROAS. And then all these other days are like around the same. And I finally came back on vacation on May 18th, and you can see exactly what happened. I made 2 more CBOs. I found 2 more winning interests from my testing campaign, and I literally just made a $100 CBO of them. And this day I spent $1,100, close enough, and it generated me, let's see, 3.2K in revenue. So on this day, we went straight from 1.9K the previous day straight to 3.2. So it was an extremely profitable day with like closer to a 3 ROAS. And I think on this day, I profited 1.2K alone. So you can see how you're able to scale this fast, and you could make thousands of dollars per day in just 2 weeks with a brand new store. But let's head back to Ads Manager and continue on to May 19th. So you can see this day I spent 1.4K on ads just because this on May 18th it was doing really well. I decided to like add $100 on every single one of my CBOs, and as you can see here, I got a return of 3.1K. So you can see exactly what happened. I spent 200 on this, where I only spent 100 the previous day. This thing as well, 200. And this, I think I increased this budget from 500 to 600. And for this CBO right here, I increased the budget from 300 to 400. But let's head over to May 20th, and I'll show you exactly what happened. So Facebook actually, on this day, it underspent on a lot of my ad accounts, and that's why you see a decrease in ad spend with only 1.2K. If we go on May 20th, let's see what happened on this day. So yeah, a lot of the ad spend just stopped right over here. I'm not sure what happened on this day. So it literally just spent 1.2, and I only generated 2.3. I said only, but 2.3 is still amazing. Let's head over to May 21st so I can show you what a full spend day looks like. So this is 1.5K in spend. All these CBO budgets spent its entire amount, and that's why I spent 1.5K. And let's see what happened on the 21st. So this is a Sunday, and sometimes Sundays do really bad. Just sometimes, but you can see that I generated 2.5 with a 1.5K in ad spend. So this day I was probably like profiting like 10%. But hey, profit is profit, right? So let's head over to the 22nd, which is a Monday. And like I said, Mondays are usually bad for e-commerce stores, but I think on this Monday it did pretty well. Well, no, it didn't do pretty well. It just did average with a 2 ROAS, which is still kind of good. So it's still like 20% profit margin. So I still made a bit of change, $600. And let's head over to 23rd. And on 23rd, I spent the same amount. Facebook overspent the budget a little bit, as you can see, 205 when it's supposed to be 200, which is totally fine. So 1.5K in spend again, and this is how much I generated, 2.7K. So this is still around like a 1.8, 1.9 ROAS. The math is on the screen right now. So you get the idea of it. Like whenever I see something do good, I just increase the budget. And if I increase the budget and it does bad, I just let it stabilize out for like another day or two. So literally leave the budget the same and just let it spend, and Facebook will usually optimize. Also, this only works for products that are actually winning. If you have a winning creative, winning product, winning store, this should work. If you don't have a winning product, it's obviously not going to work as well as whatever I'm doing now. So let's head over to a final day, which is May 24th. Actually, I'm going to show you today's results as well. So 1.6K. I think for this day, all I did was increase these two CBOs right here from 200 to 300. That's why you see it spent 291 and 299 over here. So it's a 1.7K spend day, and yesterday it generated 3.7K. So this is well above 2 ROAS, somewhere around 2.1. So finally, let's head over to today's results, which is 3.5K so far into the day, and there's only an hour or so left, so we might hit that same revenue amount as yesterday. So we spent a total of 1.6K in spend today, and wait, let me refresh. So yeah, when I refresh, it's closer to 1.7 now. So yeah, that's all for this store. So you guys could kind of get the idea of scaling. So to recap, you literally just create a $10 10 ad tip CBO, and in the CBO you determine which interests are profitable, and when they're profitable you literally just make a CBO out of them and you start scaling the CBO. And you can see how like on a good day of a CBO, I literally just increase the budgets for the next day, and if the next day did bad but the previous day did good, I just let it optimize for one more day. And if you have a good product, a good offer, a good creative, this usually works. It won't work if you have a bad product. So always test your products first before you implement this strategy. And obviously there's a lot more strategies out there, but this is the strategy that I used for this store. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys have any questions, make sure you join my Discord down below. That's where I answer most of my questions, and I'll see you guys next time.